Good evening, everyone. How is it going? Welcome to the weather update. We are going to be taking a look at a brand new classified weather system, the one we've been keeping track of, but they finally classified it 97L. Now, since this morning, I'm glad I held off on my update for a couple of days because a lot has developed since our last tropical update. So let's dive into it. First, the pathing has changed. The projected development area is basically the entire peninsula, almost the entirety of Cuba, going all the way west to the Central Gulf, north to the coast of Alabama. Now, this is not a definitive path. This is an entire area where it could develop. So, don't think that it's axiom. Even if you're outside of the shaded area, you could still feel effects from this. Let's be honest, the system is going to drop a lot of rain. So, let's take a look at the satellite and radar so you can kind of get an idea how big the system has gotten. It's not very organized yet, but it is getting there. Let's take a look. Now, as you can see from the satellite image here, we have got a lot of organization that's popped up. And even though comparatively there is no low pressure center just yet, though one is starting to come together. But as you can see, there's a lot of thunderstorm activity that has flared up around what appears to be a developing center of circulation. Now, right now, because of where it's at, we're north of Hispaniola and west of Cuba, a lot of the activity is being tore up by our mountain elevations. This is expected, and it's a good and bad thing. It is good that it's going to take a little longer to develop, but where it's going to be going into after that is the problem. Because between the Florida Keys and Cuba and that stretch there is part of the Gulf Stream, and the Gulf Stream right now is positively cooking. We're talking almost 90 degrees sea temperatures, which is frankly, it's hurricane fuel. There's going to be a lot of heat for it to work with in the entirety of the Eastern Gulf, which is now where we look at our first official models for this system. Now, the official models, they're kind of spread out right now because there is no defined center circulation to start the modeling from. They're doing a guesstimate just to the north of Hispaniola, about on the border between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. But all the models are pretty much in agreement. It is going to bowl over Cuba, which is going to drop a lot of rain on Cuba, so be ready for flash flooding, mudslides, that kind of thing if you live in the Cuba area. And it's pretty much going to stay over Cuba. The question that is really going to determine who gets the impact from this directly is going to be how soon it recurves to the north and comes off of the Cuban island. Because if it comes a little bit closer to the east, a little bit closer to the Keys, it's more likely to develop a little bit less time and probably go shore or south of the Big Bend or in the Tampa area and not have as much time to develop and not get as strong. It'll still dump a lot of rain, but it's not going to be a big threat. However, the more time it spends over to the western side of these tracks, more time to develop, more time to cook in those waters. And what makes this particularly troublesome is there could be a stalling pattern here. Not all the models support it yet. We still got to wait and see, but there is a high pressure over the western United States that is shielding basically everyone from Louisiana westward. So you guys are going to be just fine over in that area. And there is a Bermuda high that is, we're basically camping right off the coast, that is blocking it from going into the Atlantic right now. And to make this even better, there's a trough to the north, which basically puts it right where the models are projecting, because that is right between the two highs and going right to that trough, which may block it. So we had all the ingredients here for a possible stalled storm. And now if it's going to stay that way, we'll only know in a few days. But definitely by Monday, or we'll probably have a better idea of what we're looking at, or Saturday into Sunday. But by Monday, if you live anywhere on the Florida Peninsula, the Florida Big Bend, definitely be ready to go on your hurricane plans if you need to evacuate or do any preparations, because once it's classified, we're probably not going to have a whole lot of time. So you're going to have to move very quickly. But let's look at the wind field. As you can see right now over Hispaniola, it's a still image. You can see the thunderstorm activity, and the wind is not really circulating yet, but you can see it trying to organize pretty clearly here too. And right now you can see the high pressure to the top left, and the high pressure to the left, and the trough pattern to the north, even on the still image. As a 2-day chance is back up to 30%. And 7-day chance, it's officially hit high percentage, so we're looking at 70% chance in the next week, which means we're probably going to have a system to deal with early next week. So if you live in Florida, live in Cuba, watch your local weather forecast, watch your official sources, and be ready to execute your hurricane plans if you're required to. I can't imagine this is going to get more than maybe a Category 2 hurricane at the most, but that's really going to depend on a lot of factors, and we just don't know right now. So be ready for anything, including possible rapid intensification, because all the ingredients are here. The water's super hot. It's going to have enough time over the Gulf to cook, as Hurricane Idalia showed. So be ready. That is my best advice from your local weather cat, Ray. So if you want to get more updates like this, please leave a like and comment in the comments below, and we'll come to you very soon with another 97L update, possibly with its name next time. Hey guys.